pockets, you did it.
I didn't commit a crime. You don't get to tell me what to do.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Why are you yelling at me?
Because I have every right to right now.
Welcome to Cop and Corrupt, where we sort out the who and the right and wrong of police interactions. In this episode, we will cover detentions at gunpoint, resisting, and unlawful displays of firearms, and this brought to us by Lackluster's channel. Make sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On May 9th, 2023, in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, Ryan Gold, a local resident, was swimming laps in his apartment complex's pool. While he was swimming, another resident named Anna Ivanova approached him and asked him to swim in the opposite direction. Ryan refused to comply with her request. As a result, a collision occurred between Ryan and Anna in the pool, leading to a verbal argument between them. Anna then contacted her husband, Benedetto Salvia, who quickly arrived at the pool. The dispute escalated further, and Benedetto revealed a firearm tucked into the front of his pants by lifting his shirt. Concerned for his safety, Ryan called 911 to report the incident and waited in the parking lot for the police to arrive. Officer Bethany Guerriero from the Palm Beach Gardens Police Department arrived on the scene along with another officer, and they approached Ryan in the parking lot.
Come in, how you doing? Keep hands out your pockets for me.
I'm not the one who's done.
Sir, keep your hands out of your pockets. Put the phone
I
down.
haven't done a crime. Don't talk to me like that.
Listen to me. I don't know you.
Listen,
you can put that
I don't
down.
know you. You're the one with the gun.
Get down on the ground now. Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground.
What the
I told you not to reach for anything.
I haven't committed a crime. You don't have any.
Hands out to your side
I haven't committed a crime.
Now you put your hands behind your back.
You can't detain me for what?
Yes, I can.
For what?
I don't know you.
I don't know you. You're the ones with guns. Yeah, you're arresting me for nothing.
I'm detaining you right now.
That's fine. You're detaining me for what crime?
Because you don't want to listen.
That's not a crime. Are your body cams on?
Yes, they sure are.
Good. I called you guys for help because this guy's brandishing a gun at me.
When Officer approached Mr. Gold, she instructed him to keep his hands out of his pockets. Mr. Gold clarified that he wasn't the one carrying the gun, then proceeded to reach into his pocket to retrieve his cell phone. Despite his explanation, Officer reiterated her order for him to keep his hands out of his pockets. Mr. Gold voiced his objection verbally, prompting Officer to point her firearm at him, command him to lie on the ground, and handcuff him, despite the fact that he did not attempt to reach for his pockets again. Surveillance footage of the incident clearly depicts Mr. Gold backing away from Officer with his hands visibly at his sides at the moment she drew her firearm. In general, courts acknowledge three distinct types of interactions between law enforcement and civilians: consensual encounters, temporary investigative detentions, commonly known as Terry stops, and formal arrests. This classification was articulated by the 3rd District Court of Appeal of Florida in the 1996 case of Saturnino Bode versus the state. In the consensual encounter, an officer may question anyone on the street without founded suspicion. On the other hand, now quoting again, a Terry stop is permissible if the detention is temporary and reasonable under the circumstances, and only if the police officer has a well-founded suspicion that the individual detained has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime, while an arrest requires an officer to have probable cause to believe that the person arrested has committed a crime. Although the interaction between Officer Guerrero and Mr. Gold should have been consensual, given that Mr. Gold had contacted the police seeking assistance as a potential victim, and there was no indication of criminal activity on his part, it is conceivable that a court could interpret Officer Guerrero's actions as constituting a Terry stop under the mistake of fact doctrine. This is because Officer Guerrero later stated that she believed Mr. Gold was the individual in possession of a firearm. The Supreme Court elaborated on this concept in the 2014 case of Hine versus North Carolina, explaining that the Fourth Amendment only prohibits unreasonable seizures. A seizure may be permissible even though the justification for the action includes a reasonable factual mistake. Now, while it's debatable whether Officer's mistake was reasonable, as Mr. Gold explicitly stated that he didn't possess a gun, officers aren't obligated to believe everything citizens tell them. Consequently, a court might conclude that officer had reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Gold due to her factual error. However, even if officer was justified in conducting a Terry stop, a court would likely find that her actions went beyond the constitutionally permissible boundaries of the detention. It's firmly established that police conduct exceeding the limits of an investigatory stop and escalating into a de facto arrest is unconstitutional if lacking probable cause. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, which oversees Florida, ruled in the 2004 case of U.S. v. Acosta that officers may take reasonable steps to ensure their safety so long as they possess an artillery, particulable and objectively reasonable belief that the suspect is potentially dangerous, and that now quoting again an investigatory stop does not necessarily ripen into an arrest because an officer draws his weapon, handcuffs a suspect, orders a suspect to lie face down on the ground, or secures a suspect in the back of a patrol car. Nevertheless, since Mr. Gold wasn't reaching into his pockets or displaying any aggressive behavior when Officer Guerrero drew her firearm and aimed it at him, he would have a compelling argument that she lacked an objectively reasonable belief in his potential danger. Therefore, she likely exceeded the permissible scope of a Terry stop and subjected him to an unconstitutional de facto arrest without probable cause.
Sit down! I didn't say get up! I said sit down!
Who the f is this? Where's your supervisor?
I'm getting
You
one!
see how she's talking to me? I haven't done anything.
You don't
Why am
wanna
I in
listen.
handcuffs? I don't care. You're not my
being
mom.
silly because I'm
You're not my
coming here
dad.
for a gun.
That's fine. I don't have a gun. I haven't committed a crime.
And when I told you to keep your hands out of your pockets,
You're not
you did it.
I didn't commit a crime. You don't get to tell me what to do.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Why are you yelling at me?
Because I have every
Who
right to
are
right
you?
now.
What's your badge number?
321 Guerrero, Guerria. Make sure you spell it right.
If you're this scared of a guy in a
I've been here
swimsuit,
for 20 years.
you're terrified of a guy in a swimsuit. I didn't do anything.
You can shut your mouth now.
They just detained me. I explained. There's no gun. That guy
I don't
has a gun.
detain anybody for no reason.
Then what reason?
Because I
What
told you
crime
to
did I commit for you to detain
shut
me?
your mouth so I can explain it to you?
Are you in charge of this lady? Why am I in handcuffs on the ground? Are you a supervisor?
No, he's not.
Can someone explain why I'm handcuffed on
Can you
that?
shut your mouth so I can talk to you?
Look at you. You're furious. What did I do?
You did not listen.
You're not my boss.
Listen to
I
me.
don't need to listen to you.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. She doesn't get to detain me.
Yes,
pull
I
her
do.
gun. Pull her gun on me.
Because when
Put
you
me
put
on the
your
ground.
hands in your pocket and
I
I'm
didn't
getting
commit
a
a
phone call
crime.
of a
I don't
gun,
care.
you
You're
don't
that
wanna
terrified?
listen.
You shouldn't be a cop if you're that terrified.
I've been here for 20 years, punk.
Yeah. Here. Go somewhere real. You're terrified of Palm Beach
know what?
Garden.
Do
Are
me
you
a
a
favor.
supervisor? Can you ask this lady why I'm in handcuffs? Tell her what crime
I keep
I've
trying
committed.
to tell you.
Go
and
ahead.
you wanna
What
keep
crime?
talking over me.
What crime?
I get called here because
Crime.
someone is.
What suspicion?
You don't need to be in crime.
Yes, I do. To detain me, you need suspicion of a crime.
No, you do not.
Yes, you do. You don't know the law? Please explain it to them. You cannot just go around detaining random people.
Can you calm down for a second?
I'm in
Can
handcuffs.
you calm down?
random.
Obviously, we're not
Can I
getting
stand
anywhere.
up? I'll calm down if I can stand up. What did
I'm
I
in
do?
charge, not you.
No, you're not.
And you blue nail polish, cute.
Okay.
No,
I'm not gonna do it.
Down.
What did I
Stay the
do?
down, all right?
What?
Right now, all I need you for to do is keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. Arrest me.
You are under
Yeah,
arrest.
I want you. Okay, arrest me.
You're
Go ahead,
under
take me to
arrest for
jail.
resisting. I am
Go
gonna
ahead,
take
take
you
me to jail. Take me to jail right now. Take me to jail.
Oh, I will.
Do it. I'm ready.
going to.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
What's your name, dude?
Excuse me.
What's your name? What's your
Allow
name?
me to stand up
What's
and
your name?
No.
No.
Negative. Doesn't work that way.
Okay. Tell me what crime I'm here for.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You are
You're under arrest.
For what crime?
You have to give your name. You're already on arrest.
That's fine. What crime
Don't
though?
worry. She already told you.
She's already got
Resisting arrest is a secondary charge. That's a secondary charge.
It's not a
Then
secondary.
Then take me to jail.
You are going to jail. Don't
Okay,
worry
let's
about
go.
it. I got you.
Let's go.
The officers inform Mr. Gold that he will be arrested for resisting, to which Mr. Gold argues that resisting arrest is considered a secondary charge. To fully grasp the legal principles involved, we need to distinguish between state statutes that criminalize resisting arrest and laws that prohibit resisting an officer. In certain states, the law only prohibits resisting the specific act of arrest, making it a secondary charge to the offense leading to the initial arrest. However, in states like Florida, resisting can stand as its own charge. The statute criminalizes resisting an officer in the performance of their duties, without necessitating the resistance to be in response to an arrest. Courts have ruled that individuals can be convicted of resisting for refusing to comply with a police officer's lawful order. For instance, In the 2022 case of Senko versus D. Jackson, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida stated that this statute, quote, authorizes arrest for knowingly obstructing an officer in the performance of his duties, including by refusing to obey a police officer's lawful command. However, in the 2010 case of Stamos versus Brown, the same court ruled that an officer lacked arguable probable cause to arrest an individual who initially didn't comply with an officer's orders to back away, but then began to step back. Similarly, in Mr. Gold's case, although he initially didn't adhere to Officer Guerrero's directive to keep his hands out of his pockets, he reached into his pocket for his phone after informing her that he wasn't the one carrying the gun. He appeared to believe that he had addressed her concerns. Upon realizing that Officer Guerrero still wanted him to keep his hands out of his pockets, he promptly complied. Consequently, it's highly probable that a court would determine that Mr. Gold's actions in retrieving his phone from his pocket didn't constitute knowingly resisting, obstructing, or opposing officer.
There's your supervisor right
That's
there.
fine. I'm ready to go to jail. Take me.
You're gonna go, trust me.
Is your body camera on, sir?
All our body cameras are on.
Perfect.
He came out here. Me and Strzelecki roll up. He's got his hands in his pocket, and I go, bro, take your hands out of your pocket, right? And then when he goes and pulls the phone out, and he goes to put it back. I said, keep your hands out of your pocket. And I drew down on him. I drew down on him.
Okay.
That guy.
Has anybody talked to...
Not yet, because Mike came running out. Joe went running out. I'm over here literally by myself with this f***ing guy.
All right. Are you okay to go talk to her?
Yes.
Insulting me, wanting me. So, I had to call my husband.
Do you wish to tell me what happened here today so I can have a better understanding?
Yeah, I mean, my wife called me. She called me and said that there was a guy harassing her at the pool.
Okay. Was it that guy over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I just ran over here. He's obviously a lot bigger than me. And I didn't, want to get involved. I was trying to pull my wife away. And she just got closer.
At what point did the gun become involved? Well, how did he know that you were armed?
I'm not sure.
You told that other officer that you put your hands up like this so that
My wife
the
said
gun
that.
is displayed.
I know it didn't come out of the holster or anything like that.
No, I didn't say it came out, but how was he able to know that you were armed? Because he called us and said that you were armed.
I mean, if I lift my shirt up, you could see it.
Okay.
But-
So did you want him to see that you were armed? Did you tell him you were armed?
I don't think so. No.
In contrast to the conflicting accounts provided by Mr. Salvia to the officers, surveillance footage from the pool distinctly depicts him approaching Mr. Gold, standing directly in front of him and lifting his shirt to reveal the firearm concealed in the front of his pants. According to Section 790.10 of the Florida statute, which outlines the offense of improper exhibition of dangerous weapons or firearms, quote, if any person having or carrying any dirk, sword, sword cane, firearm, electric weapon or device or other weapon, shall, in the presence of one or more persons, exhibit the same in a rude, careless, angry, or threatening manner, not in necessary self-defense, the person so offending shall be guilty of a misdemeanor of the first degree. Based on the security footage, it is nearly undeniable that Mr. Salvia displayed his firearm to Mr. Gold in a rude, careless, angry, or threatening manner. However, he would not be deemed guilty of a criminal offense if he did so in necessary self-defense. While the surveillance footage clearly depicts Mr. Gold engaged in a heated verbal exchange with Mr. Salvia and Ms. Ivanova, he made no physically threatening gestures and maintained a safe distance from the couple. It was Mr. Salvia who approached Mr. Gold and then lifted his shirt to reveal his firearm. Consequently, a court would almost certainly conclude that Mr. Salvia was not acting in necessary self-defense against an imminent use of force by Mr. Gold.
Okay, so we spoke with that gentleman. Okay, I spoke to him. I'm trying to understand exactly what happened again. Can you explain to me from your perspective what happened?
He started screaming, he started getting closer, he started calling up his fists.
So he's walking towards you?
Yes.
Okay.
My wife got closer to him, and I tried to insert myself in between them.
Okay.
So at that point, we were maybe like 4 or 5 feet apart.
Okay. At what point in time did you pull up your shirt?
Somewhere in there, I really am not comfortable saying anymore. I'm so hazy in my memory that I don't want to say the wrong thing. Can I wait until I have a lawyer?
Sure, absolutely.
We just wanted to give you the opportunity because we're going to look at those cameras and we just want to make sure that what we're going to watch matches what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, I lifted my shirt up.
At any point during your encounter with him, did you inform him that you were armed?
I mean, I think that was informing him that I was armed.
By lifting up your shirt?
Yes.
Okay, we'll leave it there.
Oh, I mean,
We'll leave it there. You already asked for a lawyer. We'll leave it there.
yeah, I was going to say either you hold him or you file, but we have a weapon and it was used in a crime.
Well, we'll take the weapon.
What are you going to take the weapon for?
Right now, pending the outcome of this investigation.
So then I would go with that then. Take him for the
He's
resisted
already
out.
operated this vehicle.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bev?
And then you can let him know, hey, we're taking your firearm, pending the outcome of this investigation, but
I feel like at this point they both deserve to go, and I'll tell you why.
Officer turned off her body camera for the remainder of the encounter and was later transported to the hospital from the apartment complex in an ambulance after complaining of chest pains. Meanwhile, Mr. Gold was taken to jail, but several hours later, Sergeant Dennis Beath reviewed the surveillance footage from the apartment complex. Upon doing so, he promptly instructed another officer to release Mr. Gold from jail immediately. Mr. Gold was subsequently released before being processed, and no criminal charges were filed against him. According to a probable cause affidavit penned by Officer Michael Valerio, the officers initially seized Mr. Salvia's firearm, bullets, magazine, and holster, pending the investigation's outcome. Subsequently, Mr. Salvia and Ms. Ivanova were released when the officers reviewed the surveillance footage and concluded that probable cause existed to arrest Mr. Salvia. On May 12, 2023, Mr. Salvia was charged with improper exhibition of a dangerous weapon. Court records indicate that he participated in a pretrial diversion program. Eventually, on May 26, 2023, the charge was dismissed after Mr. Salvia completed gun safety and anger management classes and covered the prosecution costs. Following the encounter, Mr. Gold filed several complaints with the Palm Beach Gardens PD, prompting an internal affairs investigation initiated one day after his arrest. On August 25, 2023, Chief Clint Shannon announced Officer Guerrero's termination after the investigation revealed several violations of department policies in her conduct towards Mr. Gold. Officer Guerrero, as noted in her personnel file, had been with the department for over 19 years and had an annual salary of $101,000. As a consequence of the altercation with Officer Guerrero, Mr. Gold made the decision to relocate back to Chicago. Speaking to a reporter, he expressed his adamant desire never to return to Palm Beach Gardens. Additionally, Mr. Gold indicated that he is contemplating filing a lawsuit. In a lackluster tone, he concluded his statement by hinting that there was quite a bit of news regarding his next actions, but clarified that he was currently restricted in what he could disclose. Overall, Officer Guerrero receives a failing grade for unjustifiably pointing her firearm at an unarmed and non-threatening citizen who had recently been threatened with a gun, as well as for arresting Mr. Gold without probable cause and distorting the facts to justify her actions. Mr. Gold observed that Officer Guerrero appeared to be afraid when a gun was mentioned at the scene. To effectively fulfill their roles, officers must manage their emotions and respond to situations appropriately, which Officer Guerrero failed to do. While I commend the Palm Beach Gardens PD for firing Officer Guerrero, I am puzzled as to why the other officers involved in Mr. Gold's arrest faced no consequences. They failed to intervene in Officer Guerrero's aggressive behavior and assisted in the arrest without probable cause. Mr. Gold, on the other hand, deserves an A grade. Although he initially did not comply with Officer Guerrero's directive, it appeared to be a misunderstanding rather than deliberate defiance. He challenged Officer Guerrero's unlawful actions verbally during the encounter and lodged complaints afterward. Additionally, Mr. Gold has been vocal in calling for reforms within the Palm Beach Gardens PD beyond Officer Guerrero's termination, demonstrating his commitment to standing up for his rights. I commend Mr. Gold for his courage and urge him to consider pursuing legal action if he has not already done so. That was all for today's video. You can share with us your views in the comment section about video. And if you are new to the channel, remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future bad cop videos we upload. Thank you for watching the video. Best of luck and goodbye.